Hi everyone. So today is day 2 of week 6, our final video together. As you know from the syllabus, the theme of today's practice is gratitude. So truly from my heart to yours, thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. A lot of you shared really personal things about yourselves in the check-ins and the responses. And so I just want to thank you for feeling honest and open enough to share those thoughts and feelings with me. Thank you so much. And um, along with gratitude, I thought we could talk about growth today in our practice. Some of you are graduating. We're all moving into the summer, into this new season where there literally is new growth on all the trees, in the earth. And so we can think about the growth that's around us or just the sort of the growth that we're all moving into every day, whether it's reaching our goals, moving toward our intentions, whether it's moving into an entirely new phase of our lives. We can have gratitude for how far we have come. And so maybe right now, just take a moment to set an intention for this practice today. Perhaps you can just think of something for which you're grateful. If you need some ideas, a lot of times when I come to my mat, I just give thanks to my body for being here for me so that I can sort of just step outside of my mind for a little bit, right? And just focus on the feelings of stretching and breathing and being in this present moment. So if you're seated, you may close your eyes and let's take 3 deep breaths in, coming from the base of our spine all the way up to our throat center. And exhale fully. And while your eyes are closed, as you're breathing, just imagine that you are connected to this earth with roots that are sort of growing metaphorically beneath you, connecting you and supporting you. Just remain open to this positive energy from the earth that holds all of us. So as you're breathing in that support and that nourishment. Take one more breath. And when you're ready, let's make our way to our mats. And for today's practice, you may want a strap or a towel. And you may choose to use some blocks or a stack of books. So let's slowly make our way to our backs. Knees are skyward, feet are planted on the earth. And you can take your strap or your towel and just wrap it around the base of your foot and extend your left leg long. Flex your toes. Breathe in, and as you exhale, let your right leg just go toward the left about 30 degrees. So you should feel a stretch in your IT band here. Keep your toes flexed. And if you even point your pinky toes outward a little bit further, you should feel an even deeper stretch in your IT. Inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. Breathe in, and as you exhale, now we'll let our leg fall open toward the right. Do your best to plant that left hip into the earth. Imagine that you're just rooted again, like we did in our opening meditation. That left hip is rooted here as your right foot stretches outward. Keep those toes flexed. Breathe in. And as you exhale, bring your leg back to center. You can release your foot from the strap. Bring your foot back to the floor. Left foot meets the right. Now we'll do the same thing on our left foot. So wrap your strap or your towel around the ball mound of your left foot. You'll flex your toes, extend that right leg. Breathe in, and breathe out. Take one more breath in, and as you exhale, we'll let our left leg move toward the right about 30 degrees. Keep your toes flexed. You can even move those pinky toes out towards the side a little bit further, and you should feel a deeper stretch in your IT band. Breathe into center. And then exhale, bringing your left leg out toward the left side. Root down through that right hip. Breathe in, bringing your leg back to center. Release the strap. And bring both feet to the floor to meet. And now cross your right knee over your left. We'll pick up both feet and just hold on to the outer parts of your calves, and you can rock a little bit back and forth. You'll probably feel a stretch on your outer hips. Okay, release. Now we'll switch that fold. So your left knee goes over your right knee, and we'll just rock gently back and forth. Okay, now legs point towards the ceiling. Hold the back of your thighs. You can bend your knees. We'll just gently rock back and forth on our spine for a little spinal massage. Then come back up to seated. And we'll just right away activate our core. Knees can be bent. You can challenge yourself and straighten them if you like. Boat pose. We'll stay here for 10 breaths. When you're ready, feet come to the earth. Place your hands behind your hips and feet rooted to the floor. Lift your hips. Reverse plank. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, and as you exhale, lower your hips back to the floor. Windshield wiper those legs from side to side. And now we'll roll over into just two cat-cow. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift your hips into downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet. We're going to roll into a high plank. You can bring your knees to the mat if you're more comfortable doing so. But now we're going to lower our right hand, our arm to the ground, our forearm, and just roll onto your right outer foot. So this is a modified side plank. Left arm goes toward the sky. Breathe in, and as you exhale, curling around, bringing that left hand in the space underneath your arm. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. We'll roll onto both forearms into this modified plank. Knees come to the floor and release yourself into child's pose. Lift back up, breathe in into cow, breathe out into cat. Now lift into downward facing dog once more. Sort of put some weight into the ball mounds of your feet so you have a little bit of buoyancy. Breathe in, and as you exhale, just jump your feet towards your hands and roll over, letting your head be heavy. Hinging at the waist, your stomach will be lying on your thighs, and you can grasp opposite elbows and let your head be heavy. Perhaps you rock or sway from side to side. Hands to shins, back is long, breathe in, and exhale once more, folding over your legs. Breathe in as arms open wide, bring your hands to your heart center. Breathe in, arms roll wide overhead, and we swan dive down to our feet once more. Hands to knees, breathe in. Hands come to the ground, step into plank. Now we'll lower onto forearms again. This time we'll be putting the weight into our left foot and rolling onto your left forearm. You can just roll, but I'm going to turn around so you guys can see me. My back isn't facing you. So we'll breathe in, exhale, bringing that right arm beneath your space in your armpit. Breathe in, open wide. Exhale, bringing your hand below the armpit. Breathe in one last time, and exhale, bringing your arm underneath your armpit. And wide. And we'll roll back over into this modified plank. Bring your knees to the floor, and we'll just release once more into child's pose. Come back onto all fours. Briefly lift into downward facing dog. Gain some buoyancy in the balls of your feet. Bend your knees and just give a little lift as you jump towards your hands. Again, opposite elbows. Let your head be heavy. We'll sweep our arms overhead. Okay, so I'm going to adjust the camera slightly. Sorry, everybody. So it's springtime, new growth, right? And the theme being gratitude today. I thought we could practice tree pose, which is one of our balance poses, but it's always the right time to practice balance and gratitude. So again, just like we did in the beginning, imagine that there are roots connecting you to the earth. There are roots beneath your feet, holding you, guiding you. Your hands can be by your side. And just bring either your right or left foot, doesn't matter, as long as you switch, as long as you keep track. So your foot can be resting along your shin. So your left leg should be pushing against that right foot as much as the right foot is pushing into the left shin, so that there's like this equilibrium, right? There's a balance between ease and effort in this pose. If this feels like it's not really a challenge for you, having your foot resting against the inner shin, then you can choose to bring your foot a little higher. You may need to manually adjust with your hand. The important thing is that your foot does not land on your knee, because again, we always want to protect our knee in yoga. So either here on shin or inner thigh. Hands can be resting on your hips. They can be at your heart center. Just choose what feels right for you. Arms may come overhead as though you really are a tree, sort of embracing all of the abundance the universe has to offer. What really helps in this balance pose is that your eyes find a focal spot in the distance. That's called your drishti. Just finding a focal spot to gaze at is incredibly helpful. I'm going to take 3 more breaths here. Again, just imagine that you are being held by those roots. You are supported. And when you're ready, bring your hands back through heart center. If they were overhead, they can land at hips as you release. Okay. And now we will just move right into tree on the other side. So you can begin with hands on your hips if that helps. They can be at your side. And again, both sides of our bodies the sides of our bodies are not the same, right? We use our bodies in different ways, so you may be able to balance very well on one leg and not so well on the other, and that's okay. It might change from day to day as well. So just rest that foot against the inner thigh or inner shin, whatever is comfortable for you, and lift out of your pelvis, right? We want to have a tall spine in this position as well. So wherever your hands are comfortable, bring them to that space now. And they can be overhead if you'd like. Just a little clue, often balance is a little bit easier when our eyes focus at a spot on the floor. That's a little bit more grounding. Our challenge is lifting your gaze a little bit higher. If you look toward the ceiling, you may notice that your tree resembles a tree that's blowing in the wind. So really, whatever you're feeling today, if you're up for a challenge, maybe not now, but try it later. But just stay open to receive. In this position, it's about being both grounded and receptive at the same time. Take 2 more breaths. Okay, hands can come back through heart center, back to your hips, and you can release. Just shake out this pose a little bit, and let's do one more round of vinyasa, and then we'll end with a really nice gentle twist. Breathe in, arms come overhead, and if you'd like, you can't really see my feet, but if you come on a tiptoe, you can bend over and really get an extra stretch in your feet and hamstrings if you're on tiptoe. And then bring hands parallel to feet. Let your head be heavy. Hands again come to shins. Plant your hands on the earth. Step back into plank. Lower into chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Down dog. And then if you like, bring your right foot in between your hands. Drop that left knee. Rise into Anjaneyasana. And bring your hands through heart center. Let them land on your right thigh and push away that right thigh, almost as though you're curling over, your stomach is curling over your thigh, and your scoot so you can see. My toes are curled under on my left foot. And you'll really feel a stretch in those left hip flexors. And this is a great moment to reflect on what it was you noted that you are grateful for, or that item, that thing, that person for which you have gratitude. Release. Now just bend over that right foot into half splits. And your toes should be pointing back toward you, towards your knee. You may want blocks here as you lift up into this lunge position, shining your heart forward. Let's floss back into the half splits. Move the blocks aside, hands come to the earth, and just lift that foot again. And if you'd like, let's move into a 3-legged dog, and you can keep that right foot lifted as you lower into chaturanga. And lower both feet, and you flip both feet over, upward facing dog. Move back into down dog. Lift your left foot skyward. Bring your left foot in between your hands. Lower your right knee. Circle your arms overhead through your heart center. Hands land on your left thigh. Right toe is curled under, and you're just pushing away that thigh. There should be a stretch in your right hip flexors. And again, as we are in this bowing position, just give thanks. Release, we'll move into half splits. Your left toes point back toward you. Move into a lunge, your heart shines forward. Just floss again back into a half splits, toes lift back towards you. Once more, breathe in and exhale into a half split. Set the blocks aside, hands come to the mat. Lift your left leg into a three-legged dog. You can move forward. Do not lock out your knee as you do this though. Lower into your chaturanga. Both feet flip to the mat. Upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. And then get some buoyancy in your toes. And just jump lightly towards your hands. And now, if you're able, lower into this squatting position. You might want to move side to side a little bit. Wherever you're at with a squatting position, it may look more like this to some of you. You can get lower, that's fine too. We'll take 3 breaths here. You may want to sort of push your thighs a little bit apart with your elbows. So we'll take 3 breaths here. And release your left hand in front of your left foot. You're going to create a diagonal with both arms. Lift your right arm towards the sky, welcoming whatever moments come next. Both hands come to heart center. Release your right hand to the earth, forming another diagonal as the left arm opens skyward. Bring both hands to your heart center. Okay, and let's just fall back to our bums. Windshield wiper those legs. And then let's just, I need to adjust this camera once again so you can see me. Okay. So now let's lower to our mats. Feet again are about hip width distance apart. Last time we did back bends. So why don't we actually, before we move into a twist, let's slide a block under our sacrum for 3 breaths of this supported bridge. You can put one hand on your heart center and one on your belly if that feels right to you, or they can be at your side. When you're ready, just lift your hips a bit higher as you slide up that block or those books from underneath your hips. And we'll extend our left leg long. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. And we'll just revolve over to the left. You can let your arms come to a T position. If you'd like, you can bring a block or books underneath your right knee so you feel a little more supported while both shoulders touch the earth. Stay here for 5 breaths. When you're ready, roll back over to center. Both knees can come into your chest for a moment. You rock a little from side to side. Extend that right leg long as you hold your left knee into your chest and just roll that left knee over to your side. You might need to adjust pulling those right hips under a little bit so they're stacked right over one another, both hips. And again, you can take blocks or a book and place it under your knee if you like. And you can keep your gaze skyward, or you can look over your left shoulder for a little added stretch. It's really up to you. Just do what feels right in your body. Stay here for 5 breaths. Okay. When you're ready, come back to center, bringing both knees to the earth. We're about to move into Shavasana, but perhaps while you are practicing Shavasana today, you can focus on what is going right in your life right now, what feels really great, those things that you're so grateful for, whether it's the coffee you had this morning or the sun that's shining today. Maybe you can focus on those things, or you can think about where new growth is originating in your life. Where are you growing? Where are you going next? Maybe you can really focus on how you're growing and where you're going next. Or you can just let your mind be clear and focus on your breathing as well. It's really up to you. This is your time to reconnect with your body and your mind. I'm going to encourage all of you to stay in Shavasana with legs extended, or you can get a pillow to put under your knees as well if you like. Get extra support for those knees. Please stay lying down in Shavasana for another 5 or 10 minutes if that feels comfortable for you. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for practicing with me, and I wish you all the best. Please feel free to reach out with any other questions this semester or going forward in the future. Thank you, everyone, from my heart to yours. Namaste.